We know you have atrocity. It's okay. Just pass. Passing is the correct move. You have to wait. You can't do it now. Like, it's such a disappointment to see these people do this. I can't. I can't. What's going on, people? It's Swurv. I'm back with a new series. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and this is going to be the beginning of it. And the basis of this series is going to be bringing up situations that we can take a bigger deep dive into. It's going to be a deep dive series into certain theories, concepts, play patterns, maybe some type of coaching. It's going to be an educational series, and what I wanted to do to kick this off with is first with a video that is going to be about definitions to terms and, you know, some words that get used for CCGs and LOR specifically. This is all going to be about Legends of Runeterra. The terms that we use in the game, that I see that other streamers use, and we all know what it means. I want you guys to be on the same page. You know, there's two reasons for this. So one, the series that I'm going to be going through with you guys is going to have all these terms in them. You're going to need to know them. And two, you know, when you guys are watching tournaments and stuff, I want to make sure that you know what the heck's going on, because when you know exactly what's going on, you can get more into the game. That's what this is all about. That's what I'm all about. Pushing this game forward. I love this game. With that being said, the second thing I wanted to do is make a quick announcement that this video, as well as future videos, are going to be done in collaboration with the OTK Club. Last month they picked me up to be a content creator for the team, and I was super happy to jump on. Everything's been great so far, and you know, I've been feeling kind of pressured to push out some YouTube content for everybody in collaboration with OTK. So links to the OTK Discord are going to be down in the description below. So when you go down there to that description, you're gonna need to stop along the way and subscribe to the channel. And, you know, leave a comment. It's all going to be super helpful to me personally, and I would be super grateful if you guys could do that. And, you know, without further ado, let's jump into the terms and definitions. Okay, so welcome back. I'm going to jump straight into these terms and definitions, starting with how every game starts. Starts with Mulligan. Mulligan is a phase that happens at the beginning of every match, where each player can trade in cards in their starting hands for new cards at the top of their deck, and then they get shuffled back in. That's the Mulligan. Learning how to Mulligan is going to be something that we're going to be going over in this series, so stay tuned. Next, develop. You'll often hear streamers or, you know, YouTubers say, I'm going to develop this unit. I'm going to develop Misfortune. And it sounded kind of weird to me at first, but it does make sense. It's the act of playing a champion or follow from your hand onto the board. Landmarks you can also develop as well, which makes sense. Trade. This refers to how an interaction happens between units in combat, as well as something else. An example of that, so trading up means your unit lives after combat happens and the opponent's is removed, it dies. Trading down means that your unit is removed and theirs remains. Trading even means either both units live or both units die. You know, there can be like attack effects, such as with like River Shaper, where it's technically a trade down because he draws a spell if it does, you know, go for an even trade. Trading can also refer to players using spells against each other, you know, such as you would be trading up if you denied your opponent's atrocity, and, you know, on the other side of that, they would be trading down, and that's referred to as, you know, a difference in mana, basically. 4 mana for 6, that's a trade up for you. Trick and or Combat Trick is a spell generally meant to be used in combat. Typically, these cards change the stats and or remove keywords, or just generally have an effect during combat. An example of Combat Trick would be Sharp Sight, Troll Chant, or Infusion, or oftentimes burst speed spells as well. Initiative/priority is another term. It's the turn-based system that is utilized in LOR. Oh, that's weird. Is the initiative system. It refers to, or I refer to it as the priority system. I call it prio for short. So when it's my turn to act, I say I have prio. It's just how I refer to it. When it's your turn to either play or pass, priority is on you. Swing, not like swinging from a tree. Swing is just attacking with one or more of your units. Kind of basic, I know. The term open is intended to mean the first action taken at the beginning of a turn by the player that has priority. So an example of that is, I'm going to attack, or I'm going to open attack with all my units, or I'm going to open with Ruination. So it's the first thing that is the first action that's getting taken. Slow play. The act of holding onto a card in your hand for a future turn or action instead of playing it right away. That is something I'm a huge proponent of. Slow playing cards in the correct manner. There will be a video about slow playing. It might actually be one of the first videos in the series, and it's not just about slow playing in a control matchup. It's more of just it's a concept that people really need to hook on to not just spend mana because you have it. Ramp or ramping. When a card provides you with an extra mana gem, that card's referred to as a ramp card, such as Weirding Stones or Catalyst of Aeons. Curve. This term refers to the distribution of all the cards in your list's mana costs. When you play a card on curve, it means you're playing a unit or a landmark on the turn that you can afford to play it. An example, if you develop your Twisted Fate on mana turn 4, you played Twisted Fate on curve. Bank. This term refers to ending a round with unit mana that will get converted into spell mana. You guys should all be familiar with how this happens, but banking, just wanted this term to be in there for everybody. Burn. I'm not talking about burn decks per se. I'm talking about mana burn. This term refers to when a player or both players or all players end the round with unspent mana. For instance, if you end the round with full spell mana and 2 unit mana, you will be burning 2 mana, or excuse me, 1 mana. Fixed it. Typo. Alright, so fix that. So, color or colors. In LOR, this refers to the different reasons. So, Ionia is a color, and that system is kind of deeply rooted in Magic the Gathering. Another term here that originated from a card called Demonic Tutor in Magic the Gathering, Tutor or Fetch. This refers to a card that will draw either a specific card or a specific type of card. Example would be Leviathan will tutor a Swain to your hand, or Zap Sprayfin will tutor a spell that costs 3 or less to your hand. So those are tutor cards. Cantrip. Cantrip is a card, it's usually a low costing card that will have a small or minor effect, and also draw you a card to replace itself with. Examples are Avaros and Sentry are types of cantrips. Guiding Touch, Pale Cascade, oftentimes. You guys will know that as big time cantrips. Next, Sweeper is an effect that will do damage or have an effect on all of the units, either on just your opponent's side of the board or also all of the units in play. Examples are Withering Whale, Avalanche, Death Lotus. There's lots of sweepers in this game. Flip. This is a term that is used when a unit will transform in some way. Generally, it is used to describe when a champion levels up. So Example would just need to target one more unit to flip my Azrael, or if they kill my Lucian, my Senna will flip. Unit parity. This is a term to describe when a player maintains the same number of units on their board as their opponent. Sequence/sequencing is just the order in which a player chooses to play his or her cards. Top deck. This term refers to the card that is on the top of your deck when you draw it. So an example of these getting used in a sentence is, I can win if I top deck a Mystic Shot. Finisher. This term is used to describe cards that are designed to win the game for a player. These cards may or may not reach that goal of winning the game right away. So an example of a strong finisher is Captain Farron, which does not end the game immediately as it gets played. Atrocity or Great Beyond are both great examples of finishing cards, finishers. Line/line of play. This term is used to describe a specific sequence or set of sequences to achieve a specific goal, such as a match win, removing a threat or removing a threatening unit. Example: this line got him the win. Constructed/draft. These two terms refer to certain game modes in card games. Constructed refers to a game mode where a player chooses all of the cards in their deck and plays against other players, such as ranked or normal games. These are often, the ranked mode is often also referred to as the latter. Draft refers to other game modes where a player can only choose from a certain set or sets of cards. Like in Expeditions, those are draft mode. That's a draft mode. On to just the style of decks. Just most people all know this, but just wanted to be a little bit thorough. So, aggro, a term to describe a style of deck that typically wants to play cards quickly and attack their opponent as fast and as often as possible. Examples of that are discard aggro or spider deck lists. Midrange, a term used to describe a style of deck that can utilize both aggressive and passive playstyles to achieve victory. Examples would be Ash Noxus, the Frostbite deck, or Shyvana Dragon deck lists. Control, a term used to describe a style of deck that generally has more expensive cards and units and aims to remove units from the opponent's board and or stop their opponent from attacking. Strong examples of this would be TLC, the Trundle Lysandra control deck lists, or Swain Freljord style deck lists with lots of sweepers. Combo. This is the last one, by the way. A term used to describe a style of deck that is typically based around winning with just a few cards that have high synergy together. Examples of that would be Zoe Lee Sin deck lists or Ezreal Karma lists. And that is it. That is all the terms. I believe that moving forward in this video series, we should have a strong chance at all being on the same page and learning together, because that's the goal here. I want you guys all to get better at the game and just like me, just keep falling more and more in love with the game and just wanting to play it more and more. So make sure you like, you comment, and you subscribe, and we'll see you next time.